Hey guitar people, what I have here is the second guitar that I ever owned. This is a 1993 Platinum Series BC Rich Warlock. This was bought in 1993, the year that it was made. It was a early graduation present for high school for me from my parents. And at the time, this was the perfect guitar in the world for me. What's not to love? This thing has a 24 fret neck, all black hardware, and it's bright yellow and a really pointy shape. This was a total metal guitar to me at the time, and I was in hog heaven. As the years have gone by and I've played many other instruments and had a chance to kind of find out what I like and don't like in an instrument, this guitar is a piece of crap. But as a 15, 16, 17-year-old, this guitar was perfect for me. I learned a lot of the technique that I know today, a good portion of the catalog of music that I know today, and how to write on this guitar. This guitar was my only working guitar for a period of about 12 years. The Washburn that you may have seen before had a bit of an electrical problem and became non-functional until it was repaired some years later. So a little bit about this guitar. It doesn't have the typical BC Rich headstock that you see today. It has the reverse headstock that was very popular in the mid-90s. It is of course a Warlock with its characteristic very pointy outlandish shape. The neck is, as I said, a 24 fret neck with a rosewood fretboard, some kind of jumbo frets, and it's a maple bolt-on neck. The bridge is a licensed knockoff of a whammy bar, which is a style that was popular in the 80s at some point, but really isn't a great bridge. It's got fine tuners on it, and that's about all it's got going for it. Control-wise, we've got a master volume, a master tone, a three-way toggle, and a coil tap switch. The body, I don't know if you can tell from the chip on the corner there, the body's actually made out of plywood. This is certainly not a cork sniffer type of a guitar that an aficionado would be proud to play. This is, however, my childhood guitar. It's the guitar that was always by my side. I've had numerous people comment to me over the years that when they think of me, they think of this guitar. I had it with me so often, and I played it so much. For about the first month or so after my folks got me this guitar, I swear I was playing 14 hours a day. And it's not one that I pick up very often these days. It's not very comfortable to play compared to the guitars that I've kind of grown into playing in more recent years. It doesn't sound that great. It sounds fantastic through a lot of distortion for 90s thrash metal and 80s thrash metal. It sounds pretty much not awesome for anything else. The pickups are not that great. They're cheap. They're what you would find in an OEM factory pickup in Korea back in the day. Oh, that reminds me, this guitar was made in Korea, and it was made during a time period in BC Rich's history where it's typically considered their period of lowest quality. It was where basically the name was sold off and manufactured by a concern known as Class X. And in general, the quality is not very highly regarded. They weren't exactly the right dimensions, they didn't stick to the specifications, and everything was just done on the cheap to sell guitars with this brand name on it, because it was extremely popular at that period of time. So it's not really a great guitar. It actually used to neck dive pretty badly. I can do this now because I moved the strap pin at some point years later after I started playing other guitars and learned a little bit about the way that instruments should be built, the way they should work, and started to really understand a lot of the failings of this guitar. But nonetheless, I did learn a lot of what I know on this guitar, as it was the only one that I had for years. And when I stopped playing after I got home from college for a period of years and got a random contact from a friend of mine who wanted to jam, I went down into the basement at that time and pulled this guitar off of the couch where I had thrown it years before, and it had gotten buried in basement clutter. Pulled off the rusted out strings, changed them out, and I was off to the races. So a couple other things. The electronics inside this guitar are pretty sketchy. It uses those typical cheap small Asian potentiometers that you'll find in a lot of cheap budget guitars. You can hear it kind of being scratchy here, despite a lot of liberal use of contact cleaner. If I really wanted to play this guitar seriously, I would probably do a number of things, beginning with changing out the bridge to a proper Floyd Rose, gutting the electronics and the pickups, and a number of other things. But quite simply put, this guitar is sentimental to me, and honestly, although I've considered it a number of times over the years, it's just not worth that level of investment into this guitar. I would easily put twice what this guitar was bought for and valued at into upgrading various things that I think are kind of subpar on it. You know, they purchased this guitar for me at just over $300 back in 1993, which was a lot of money to them, but compared to, you know, some of the other instruments that I own, and certainly the quality of instrument that myself and a lot of my acquaintances play, it's really not a lot of money, and it wasn't back then. It's just for a couple of immigrant factory workers, it was a lot of money. So I do appreciate it. This guitar gave me a lot of years of happiness, but that's about it. So I'll wrap this up with a clip of something that was popular back around the mid-90s when I got this guitar.